Hey, have you read Fractured by Celeste Stinson? Or Perfectly Imperfect by Eva Farmer? Or wait, maybe A Jacket in a Pine Tree by Javier Klisch? Wait, you haven't? Probably because my sixth graders wrote these books in 30 days. Yes, I just said 30 days. Every year, my sixth graders participate in National Novel Writing Month. I have done this for 10 years, and y'all, mind-blowing every year. From experience, every single child has a story to tell. What students create boggles my mind every single year, and I want to share with you a little bit about how you can help your students write a story that matters to them. So you may have heard of National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo. This is an international program that encourages people to write the novel that they have inside of them. There's a young writers program, there's a whole website, there's an online community, there's all kinds of badges and swag and stickers and progress charts that you can use to help motivate students to write during the month of November. You don't actually have to do this in November, that's just when the official NaNoWriMo takes place, but you could literally do this in any month. One of the points of National Novel Writing Month is to get kids to develop writing stamina, which is why they have to choose an absurd word count goal. 6,000 words? 12,000 words? 23,000 words? 26,434 words? Literally, it can be any word count. In my class, for my sixth graders, their goal has to be at least 6,000 words in 30 days. That's the goal that everyone has to aim for at least. I have a lot of very ambitious writers. For example, hello, Fractured. Okay, this is over 40,000 words. Wow, that's not the norm though. Most kids write about 10,000 words in 30 days. The point is to give students the structure and the timeline and the support that they can create a novel within this set amount of time, such as 30 days. Now, my students know this is coming. This is the kind of legacy project that when students come to sixth grade, they're like, wait, is this the class we write a novel in? They know this is a thing because it's incredible. I mean, look. Books published. Wait, have I mentioned that these are on Amazon? Because they are, like, for real Amazon. Did I also mention I've had multiple kids make hundreds of dollars selling their books? Because that has also happened. So here's how we start. First, students know that this is happening. Like I said, August, September, October, they're like, when do we do our novel? When do we do our novel? When do we do our novel? And I'm like, okay, it's coming. So excited. I give them 1 week to prepare. I purposely give them 1 week because I want them to feel good anxiety and the tension and the suspense, and then they're chomping at the bit to get ready to write. Here we go, we got 5 days, we're gonna prepare. What are we gonna do? I have them start with a character. So we do extensive character interviews where they have to name things like, what's under your protagonist's bed? What does your antagonist keep in their freezer? What's the deepest, darkest secret the supporting character can share with us? I have them come up with the most random facts about their character. And I say, listen, you're not gonna use all this in your novel, okay? You're probably not gonna have a character go into the antagonist's freezer and talk about the Tony's pizza that's in there. But when you come up with a character that is three-dimensional, that has a freezer, that has secrets, that has a history, you're creating a three-dimensional person. I have them think about a character in a book that they have read that they really connected with and think about after the book is over. So I say, do you ever finish a book and then you find yourself like, oh, I wonder what Katniss is doing right now? You know why you do that, y'all? Because the character is so real that you think they are alive and living a life somewhere. The way the author gets you to feel that way and to think about their protagonist is by having details, is by making up a history for that character. And that's what we do for the first 2 days as we are preparing for our novel writing. It's all about the character. Make sure you click the link to get a little taster of what these character interviews are like. You can really see what kind of deep dive we do into our protagonist, supporting character, and antagonist. Now, Once students have their character, they know exactly who their protagonist is going to be, they know the antagonist, and you have a supporting character because every protagonist needs a buddy, right? Then I have students get into the conflict. So what is the problem the character is going to face? Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. We talk a lot about internal conflict and external conflict. Character's probably gonna have both, okay? There might be like a super mean bully who is always harassing this kid and always trying to sabotage the protagonist. That's gonna be the character's external conflict. But I might also talk about the internal conflict that the character is having when maybe they're put into a situation where that bully is in like dire circumstances and the protagonist can help, but they are struggling with the right thing to do is to help, but you really don't want to, right? That's an internal conflict. So we talk about different types of conflict. Of course, we reference books that we know and love and share examples with each other of different types of conflict. And I have students write down a ton of possibilities of conflicts. Now, sometimes kids are like, I know exactly what's gonna happen. I totally know exactly like the problem my character is gonna have. And I say, great, that is super. Now you need to come up with like 5 more problems. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One, because often characters don't have just one problem, they have a lot of problems. And 2, if they're writing their novel and they realize that they need some more words, they need some more drama, we can add a little subplot in there. We can have the character have like another little problem. So the more problems the character can have, the better. After we do the conflict, we talk about, all right, we need first words. They need to be good. They need to be engaging. I have students pull books off of my classroom library. Some books they've read, some books they haven't. I have them go through and look at the first couple sentences of the novel, and they have to rate it. Do they really like it? Or do they love it? I have them explain what they like about those first words. Maybe they love that it's all about the description of the setting because they know the setting is going to be very important in their novel. Maybe they love that it starts with dialogue and maybe it's sassy dialogue. So you know right away exactly what that character's personality is like and what kind of ride you are in for. Maybe they like that it starts with action. Maybe something really intense is happening and the author has zoomed in on the action so the reader can picture it in their mind. So once students do a little bit of analysis of really interesting leads that grab their attention, then they try their hand at their own leads. So they draft out, again, a bunch of different leads, and then I have them ask a partner, another student in the class, because that is their audience for the book, which lead do they like the best. So they're asking, hey reader, which one are you more into? And they're getting that immediate feedback for what their authentic audience actually wants. When November 1st hits, they are fueled by Halloween candy and they are ready to start writing. The words that they write between November 1st at midnight and November 30th at 11:59 p.m., those are the words that count towards their word count goal. So they have a very definite time period in which they can write, and they have a very specific word count goal that they are aiming for. They have to establish an ambitious yet manageable word count goal, and that's kind of the number they're aiming at. So as they're writing, they can look and say, okay, I only have 4,762 words right now, and I know I'm really aiming for 7,000, so I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna add a little detail here. Or if the teacher pops into their Google Doc and makes a comment using the incredible Moat Chrome extension, hello, you can leave a 1.5 minute voice memo. Thank you, I'm not typing all of that. I can just do a voice memo. So Moat, check it out, M-O-T. If the teacher pops on and leaves a little note, a little comment that's like, hey, I can't really see the action that's happening here. Can you pop back in here and add a little bit more details, zoom into the action of what's happening, and also make your character react? What are they gonna do after this major dramatic thing just happened? Then they'll know, okay, I need a lot of words, so I'm definitely gonna go back in and add more details in there. During the month of November, they are writing. And y'all, the stories they tell are incredible. In the year 2021, I had multiple students mention a mysterious thing outside and they weren't allowed to leave their house. Hello, COVID. I had one student who is adopted from Africa write about a character getting a knock on the door from African security department saying, hey, We found your birth parents. I mean, is that an intense story or what? I had one student whose protagonist is like a super great basketball player, but he secretly wants to be a ballerina. And the protagonist has to struggle. Do I share this part of myself with others, or do I keep it hidden to myself? And the boy who wrote this really was writing like with a genuine voice, and I could see clearly he was struggling with some issues that he sees in himself. So how do others view him versus who he really is on the inside? I had one girl who wrote all about a popularity contest, and I know from a survey I gave at the beginning of the year that this author was most afraid about making friends in middle school. And that insecurity, that worry really showed itself as she worked through these characters in her novel having a popularity contest. That ended up being a really bad idea for the characters, but they did end up friends in the end, so yay. I don't know if I would have known this amount of detail and this kind of intimacy with the students if it wasn't for this novel writing project. Letting them open up and share the stories that they had inside of them was an incredible experience for them, where they get 30 solid days to experience and live in this world. And also for me, because I get to see who are they, what's inside of them, what are they thinking about, what are they worrying about, what are they hoping for. And this novel writing project is the most amazing vehicle to get students to reveal those parts of themselves. And often that's the parts that we just like don't have time for in a traditional classroom, where we're trying to get through curriculum, where we're trying to get through the story, we're trying to get to this testing date. And so this project just opens students up to me, and I think also to themselves. Before you think that we're all just writing free, yay, do whatever you want, hard pause, because this is really just my sneaky way of teaching boring grammar like paragraph breaks and dialogue and subordinating conjunctions and apostrophes. But throughout the month that I am teaching this unit, I have students look at different grammar skills, such as best words, right? Subordinating conjunctions. I have them look at what is a subordinating conjunction? Why do writers use subordinating conjunctions? How do you punctuate a sentence with a subordinating conjunction? And then I have them try it in their novel, and then I grade specifically for subordinating conjunctions in their novel. So I don't do like a separate test or separate assessment or like in the vacuum assessment, but I look at, okay, when you start a sentence with the word after, do you have a comma in there? Are you adding detail to your sentence? So I'm teaching them to use grammatical skills in context, and more importantly, in authentic writing that they actually care about. So I'll tell you what, when I give them these skills and I say, hey, listen, authors use this because it adds details and it adds description and it makes the writing better and more interesting, they're like, I want all of those things to happen in my novel, so I'm gonna try to write with subordinating conjunctions. And I'm like, yeah, you are. And you're also gonna keep writing with subordinating conjunctions when we go back to like boring essays and stuff, yeah? Yes. If you have ever thought about having your students write a novel, I'm telling you, you can do it. Will it be scary? Yes. Will you be afraid that your kids are gonna totally revolt and rebel and it's gonna be mutiny? Yes. Will you help your students tell a story that is inside of them, just dying to get out, whether or not they know it? Yes. Will their books go on Amazon if you publish using KDP? Yes. Will they share some of the profits with you? Probably not. I am telling you, your kids can write novels. You totally got this. I can support you the whole way. I want so many teachers to do this so that you can really feel the impact of giving children time and space to explore a story that they have inside of them. If you are interested in learning more about the whole publishing process, make sure you pop over to my YouTube channel. I have a whole video that is all about Kindle Direct Publishing, which is what we use, but don't be fooled by the name because it is paperback books, not just a Kindle version. You can actually publish anything this way. My husband is an English teacher and he did a class anthology of horror stories in October that were printed using this way. He did it as a fundraiser. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty of how to publish, make sure you pop over there to my channel, Krista Barber, and check out that video that talks about how to publish a book. Your students have stories. You can, I am telling you, you can create the time and space to help them get those stories out. And you can also teach grammar skills too, so you're welcome. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for having a commitment to students and helping them share their stories with the world. It's the stories that we need to hear.